We sold our home in Utah that we spent 7 years pouring our hard work into so that we could buy 35 acres on top of a mesa in Colorado in the middle of nowhere, all in hopes that we could build our dream home while having a greater focus on family, building those relationships, and making lasting memories. We wasted no time and got right to work. We spent the first 8.5 weeks living in tents. There were good days and there were bad days. But before winter hit, we were able to get our main hole dug for the house, our driveway situated, electrical run, an RV pad established, and we buried our shipping container. During construction, our family of 8, our dogs and cat, are all living in this fifth wheel. Building this home ourselves will be an inevitably long process, so we're going to be in this fifth wheel for a while, so we might as well get comfortable. Outside of some other major repairs we've already done, we've decided to gut this fifth wheel and remodel it, starting from one end to the other. We wanted to be able to add a laundry room, so there was a lot of plumbing and electrical involved in that process. We also needed to expand our amount of storage and just make more efficient use of the space that we have. So far, the kids' bunk rooms got a major facelift, drastically increasing their storage. And we have a functioning laundry room. Next up is the kitchen. And that's what this video is all about. The main things we want to accomplish in this space is expanding storage and counter space, updating the overall appearance, and getting that same waterproof flooring that we put in the bunkhouse laid throughout this main area as well.
We're about to start our kitchen remodel in our fifth wheel, and as soon as we start the demolition on the kitchen, we're not going to be able to use our sink or our stove or our oven. So we want to make sure that we're limiting the amount of time that we're not able to use those things. So instead of tearing the cabinets out now and then coming back and putting them in when we're done and building the cabinets that are going to go on as an extension of the cabinets here, I'm going to build the cabinets that I'm building here now so that we can continue to use our kitchen the way that it is. And then once we're done building those cabinets, we'll do the demo, and then we can put everything back together when we're done with the flooring through the kitchen.
All of these pieces we were able to salvage when we demoed the kids' bunkhouse. It's perfect for our tight budget because we can utilize these in expanding the kitchen cabinetry. Before we can really start cutting our pieces, we're getting a bunch of 2-inch strips ripped down.
So let's get this one installed.
This is a small butcher block slab that Jeff made for our dog feeding station.
In our new cabinet, we're going to have the dog watering and feeding area right here, but currently we've got our circuit panel right here. So what I'm going to do is move this up so that it's above inside of the cabinet that will be above the dog feeding station. So we're going to take this sink out, but there's not any valves to shut the water off so that we can keep having water in the bathroom and the shower. I'm just going to put some valves on this kitchen area, and then we can disconnect the water. Disassembling this front here so that we can add more storage. There's room for another drawer here and another drawer here. So we're going to be taking this apart and then cutting a few new pieces and then putting it back together so that we can maximize our storage.
Out with the old and with the new. We're gonna customize these vents and get the rest of this waterproof flooring laid. drill. Getting everything sanded and now painted. Look at all that extra storage. The new stairs that Jeff built will be sturdier and it'll make it a lot easier to finish off this area. No more weird transitions between the flooring that will be on the stairs and what we'll have on the walls. Now to get started on the new countertops. After pricing it out, we decided Jeff could make our butcher block from scratch. He handpicked some beautiful 1x6 pieces of poplar. All of our new doors and drawers need to match the original cabinets, but we couldn't find the Augie we needed to match the profile. So Jeff got creative and used a raised panel bit that has a similar curvature on part of it, and just had to manipulate the depth and height, which resulted in a pretty close match. We need to get these cabinets down so that we can finish running the faux shiplap across the ceiling, and we're actually going to bring the cabinets up to meet the ceiling. This was fun. If you haven't already seen the videos about remodeling the bunkhouses, we explain how we use underlayment to make a faux shiplap. Originally, there were these ugly, dated, stamped panels on the ceiling with seams every 6 feet, and this is so much better. Our microwave has been venting out the front, but we want to vent it out the back, so we're going to flip the fan around, and we will be installing an exterior vent on the outer wall of the fifth wheel. Rebuilding our upper cabinets. Cutting grooves for the underlayment to slide into to go between cabinets. We've been dealing with all kinds of crazy weather and mud and things up at the properties, so we're working on as much as we can inside the fifth wheel, which has had its challenges. Jeff is drilling holes for wiring to run through. All of the wiring for lighting, our slides, and even for the power outlet for our Blu-ray player and microwave, all of that will be concealed and run through the bottom part of this cabinet. These openings will be terminals for all our speaker wires. Which we are routing down through the wall. We'll bring them under the stairs. And then they'll run under the refrigerator and up that side wall. And there was this perfect little cavity under the fridge next to the water heater for our subwoofer. New shelves are installed. Jeff had to reconfigure the faces for all of the cabinets, especially the upper ones, because we decided to raise them up to the ceiling, so they need to follow the ceiling line, which is angled instead of straight across. And it's crazy, just by raising the cabinets 5 inches, how much more open it feels and how much taller.
This is our Blu-ray player, and it has speaker wire connections on the back here for all of our different speaker locations. We're going to be tapping into our existing speakers that are in the fifth wheel and utilizing those speakers instead, but it came with these speakers, but we'll use a little bit of the wire, and we'll be attaching these banana plugs because these will make it easier to make the connections inside of where the Blu-ray player is going to be. And so I'll be cutting off a little bit of wire from each color because it's color coordinated. So blue goes to surround left and so on and so forth with all the colors.
This is where our microwave goes.
And up to this point, the air that the microwave is fanning has been blowing directly out this way. So it runs it through a filter and then it blows it out this way. So what we're going to be doing to upgrade it is put a hole here in the back. We're switching our fan around so that it's actually going to vent all of our exhaust out the side. So we're going to be putting this louver vent on the side. So I'm going to be making a hole here and then installing this.
We're going to coat the opening and the vent with this glue, and it will actually expand and give us a nice seal around there. We're ready to tile in the kitchen, and so Jeff is wiping the walls down with acetone so that everything adheres really well. We love using this mat for wall tile. We got our glass tile from Floor and Decor. We always get our tile and flooring from them. They have the largest variety and the best prices that you will find anywhere. Oftentimes when people are tiling a wall that meets up with another wall, they'll just tile every row all the way up to the adjacent wall. But offsetting and interlacing the rows makes all the difference. It's all those little details that will really make a tile job, like hiding and polishing your cut edges. Ready for grout. This grout is some that we just had left over from another project, and when we were picking up our tile, we knew we had some on hand and we were just hoping it would work, and it was perfect. Up to this point, we hadn't put an end panel onto our upper cabinets, and we really wanted a spot to stow our cutting boards when we're using the sink. So this is what we came up with. Got it all sanded and painted. And I think this will do nicely. Now let's take a quick look back at all the awesome things that we gained from doing this project, like the flip-up counter over the stove, the cabinet where we'll keep the dog food, and our fuse panel. These 4 extra drawers that we didn't have before, and the dog's feeding station. This handy trash chute. The 4th drawer here and the one under the stove. And then of course another next to the vent under the fridge. But more than anything, we gained a greater appreciation for what we have and for all the things we're able to do ourselves. It's so much brighter and cleaner in here. The space is used so much more efficiently, and life is going to be a little more comfortable while we build our dream home. Heck, the kids keep asking if we can just live in this 5th wheel for the rest of our lives. And I don't know, maybe by the time we're done remodeling, we will. Just kidding. And if you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, hit the button, sit back and watch us make mistakes and work our butts off and chase our dreams. We'll continue bringing you beautiful transformations, DIY projects, and as always, we'll keep it real.